so that your highlights don't tend to get lost in the dark and light areas because of it. So always I tend to get away from using pure white or pure black, and usually mix colors, almost white and almost black. Alright, today we're gonna be working on Michael Jackson, and it just occurred to us to work on him today, and I thought it would be a nice idea to rework some of, or to include, I should say, the Mickey Mouse that's recently been opened up for public use. Though because of that, decided to make a child Michael Jackson, and looking around we found a picture of Michael Jackson with a Mickey Mouse shirt, so that's what we're gonna do. And as you can see, first off it's just sketching. Since I'm copying pretty much the photo, I'm gonna change a few things here and there. I'm not looking to make it or to make him too look-alike. Really, what I'm looking for is the feel of Michael Jackson more than the little details. So after the initial sketch, we're gonna start setting down some colors, just some dominant colors, like the hair is brown, the skin, I'm gonna go for dark, medium, and light tones before I start mixing it in or highlighting a few things or making some shadows a bit darker. Gonna keep it simple shapes, just pretty much something that'll get me started on how to keep going and see if I have to move some colors or some details here and there. Now, as you can see, we started doing a bit of the work on the face and neck, the important parts, so that I can start getting those down. Also, I don't want to lose the skin tone or have to worry about that, so I'm going to go for the arms as well. Anything that's skin toned or that has those colors in, I'm going to start working on right now before I keep going. Now, that's something we want to do if we're not sure if we want to bother a bit or not, or if we want to use those as a base to influence whatever we start to do afterward. As you can see right now, I'm starting to brighten up a few of the light tones with some orangey colors or some warmer tones, so as to start getting some of the brightness in there. And obviously we're gonna have to apply some brighter colors on the mid-tones, get some more of the chroma in. And start detailing the eyes, the nose, the mouth, just trying to get more of the feel. I'm not really convinced. It started to look like it, but we're gonna polish it a bit. Like I said, it's not, the point isn't to make it exactly like Michael Jackson or exactly like the photograph. It's just to get a feel for it and to have it be reminiscent of Michael Jackson, more than anything. That's what we want to do. We don't really care much for the exact likeness, so we're just gonna keep on working like this. Next are the arms. Really, anything that's skin tone, we're gonna be working preferably at the same time. If we do something in one area of the skin, we're gonna do the same thing on the other areas before we move on to something like the hair, for example. Now in the hair, since it's dark, the light parts are usually, or at least I like to usually use some purple, some bluish tones there, something cold and light, warm, something just to make it pop a bit without making it too monotonous. And back to the face, the nose, we're gonna have to make it pop a bit. We're gonna have to get some highlights down and start playing around with it. Gotta get some life on those eyes, so we're gonna move on to those next. You know, switch up our brush a bit, get something more detailed, and get some little highlights here and there just to make it pop a bit, make it look brighter, happier, more in line with what we have in the mouth. You know, it's like a smile of sorts, nothing too wide of a smile, just something simple. Like I said, we're using a reference photo for it, or an image, so we're gonna be basing it off on that, but not exactly. Very important, and I know I keep repeating it, but the most important part with a portrait isn't necessarily the likeness. It's more of the feel of the person. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make him feel like Michael Jackson more than look like Michael Jackson. Though of course, if we can make both of those work together, it's even better. But that's not the point right now. After all, it's an oil sketch, like the rest of the videos. So we're gonna keep it in line with those. It's just simple oil sketch, maybe an hour long, an hour and a few minutes, nothing too long. Now as for the shirts, it's a series of grays, but the grays are gonna have some cold colors in, some blues, some purples. We wanna make it pop a bit from the neutral gray of the background, and obviously start sketching the Mickey Mouse, start with some blocking of the colors, well, mainly the shapes of the colors, trying to go along with the lights and the darks of the shirt, so that the Mickey Mouse figure plays along well with it. And we want to do it on the spot, at the same time as we're working on the shirt. Obviously try not to use pure white or pure black, but a mix, so that your highlights don't tend to get lost in the dark and light areas because of it. So always I tend to get away from using pure white or pure black, and usually mix colors, almost white and almost black, and leave a little wiggle room so we can start to maybe make an area extra realistic, or an area, or basically get the focus in an area or a detail maybe, you know. As for the background, as you can see, I decided to go with purple, since the lights on the skin and the hair and the shirt and everything tend to be cold. Decided to go for something not too warm, but you know, not too cold either, just to make the figure stand out a bit more. Gonna get some space for the shadow, the cast shadow of the figure, and you know, just work it around, try to make it seem like he's part of the background, or like the figure loses itself by softening up the edges. After all, I don't want to make anything too fine or separate from the other. I want to keep it all tight. I want to make sure it looks good while not too defined, and yeah, that's mainly what we want to do right now.